Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, a podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, well, he's a blessing and he's a curse. He's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the show. Thank you, new listeners and repeat offenders. And I've got to say, thank you for those who do repeat and come back and subscribe and everything, because we're looking into some analytics stuff and it was saying and we hear it off YouTubers and other creators that from the analytics only 50% of listeners have actually subscribed.
Yes, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to us.
And even if you've subscribed on one, get over to YouTube or whatever, because we do put out extra videos and bits and pieces as well.
We do indeed.
But we do have an interesting show this week, following on from last week's show, which was the cursed painting, the crying boy.
Yes.
Curses we've covered before, bits and pieces, but we're going to go into some deep curse history and people who've been afflicted by curses, curses that have been well documented.
Yes.
You've got stuff like King Tut. King, he's kind of a big one in the curse game, isn't he? The mummy's curses and stuff like that. Curses. There's quite a lot of curses. I was very surprised. Lots of different cultures and lots of different religions and stuff have their own versions. We'll be looking into a few stories and a bit of the background a bit later on. But a curse, also known as imprecation, malediction, execration, malison, anathema, and commination, which means is to wish some sort of form of adversity or sort of misfortune, bad luck, bad karma, bad juju, whatever you want to call it, on a person, on people, a place, or an object. In particular, curse refers to something usually comes from magic or dark magic.
Yeah, definitely black magic.
And you can also have jinxes, hexes. We'll be getting into it all a bit later on in the show, so well worth sticking around for. Episode 179. Well, I wonder who's been listening from the beginning. Show of hands.
Oh yes.
We'd love to hear from you if you actually have been listening from the beginning of the series ever.
For you to contact us.
You can tell us which episode you wouldn't mind us doing a redo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, anyway, what have you been up to this? Have you ever felt like you've been cursed, Mr. Taylor? Question time.
Yeah, probably a little curse, but not really bad.
Curse my eyes. Curse these gifted hands.
I broke a couple of mirrors. I've walked
really?
under some ladders.
Have you cracked a mirror? Yeah. So 7 years bad luck is a pretty kind of bad curse, really, isn't it? It's not 7 years. That's got longevity. It's got legs.
It has.
You know what I mean?
But then, how long is it if you cross a black cat or go under
they
a
say
ladder?
if you kind of 15 minutes or something, and then if a white cat passes you, it brings that time. I don't know. I really don't know.
I've heard that you cross your fingers until you see a dog.
Whether a black cat is actually lucky or bad luck. There's a kind of a group on either side of the fence on this one.
Oh, that's true.
What do you think? I mean, if I might put a poll out, but people at home, what do you think is a black cat, bad luck or good luck? Because some superstitions don't ring true to other cultures, other people. True. Do you know what I mean? So is it a case of that it's just from wherever you live, or is it something a bit more? I don't know.
Well, what do
more
you think
associated
with
with black cats being associated with witchcraft, like familiars and witches.
Have you done any of that? Walked across black cat.
Don't step on a crack, or you'll break your mother's back.
Broke any mirrors or done anything?
Tried not to, but I mean, things happen.
Yeah, I think it's a state. A majority of it's a state of mind.
Life.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, winner at the
just
game
think with
of life.
Well, if you think about it,
break a mirror,
whenever you're crossing the road, you're hoping someone doesn't be stupid and just run you over.
Yeah, but that's
You
just
know what I
common
mean?
sense.
Yeah, no,
just
but
use your
people
common
don't-
sense. Stop looking at your phone.
Yeah, but if people
Ta-da.
decide not to have that common sense and don't care,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because
Well, have you ever been affected by, like, you know, have you ever thought that you've had like a run of bad luck after you've done something like that, or would you say that was a psychological thing, that it was just you're attributing some bad luck?
I don't know if I can say, because there's a kind of superstition that I've kind of got of a thing of, like, if I talk about something,
it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So
if I
walking
say
down
I'm
the
going
street,
to win it, yeah.
But then it's like, is that almost the same thing if you think it? Because it's like, you know,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
to a
think,
degree.
oh, right, I'm going to find £1 million and then find £1 million. That's just way too coincidental.
No, it's to a degree.
Not that I've ever found £1 million.
No, I wish.
If you patron, if you want to jump on the Patreon.
Yeah. We love a cup
We
of
don't
coffee.
We don't have £1 million tier, but
No,
you know, we
don't
can
have
make one.
nothing on the table.
No.
It's an empty tank.
There's an empty pit. Just get one guy in there, just going,
Yeah.
hiya.
Yeah. Just got one.
He's like that guy in the what's it? Do you know Pick a Destiny? Do you know Tenacious D?
Yeah.
He had that one fan, Lee.
yeah,
and it's just like Lee.
follows.
Just like Lee's our Patreon.
Well, have you had any?
And yeah, well,
Where do you think any incidents with jinxes for you?
jinxes, hexes,
Yeah,
curses.
and that.
I don't know, you know. I think that just stuff, life's like that. You know, it's chaotic, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not always going to be, you know, good luck.
Sweet
but
roses,
in the
yeah.
sense that, you know, good luck exists. Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah.
I do believe in luck,
Yeah.
and I do believe in good luck. Yeah. So obviously I've got to believe in bad luck, and these people, like, we will talk about it a bit later on in the show, but there's people in certain religions, in the Hindu religion, that do spiritual sort of blessings, and give them they
Good
give
luck
them good luck
houses
sort
and
of
stuff as well.
spiritual, like, so if you can do that, then could you not put a similar bad curse on them?
That could be put as you're making peace in their mind and. Not
Well, yeah,
actually
exactly,
affecting
and that's what I'm
anything.
getting at. Is it a psychological thing that if I suggest,
Exactly.
is it all suggestibility? Like, you know, some people suggest voodoo is a suggestibility thing, that it's not all about,
But dark
dark magic.
witchcraft
It's
and stuff
about
like that,
making your mind is a strong thing to manipulate, and if you
That's
can
right.
kind of turn your mind against you in a way that's a manipulative way of witchcraft, if you like, that you're under an influence.
Yeah, it's
but-
sort of MK
but
Ultra
only
sign
kind of
thing.
sort of,
Yeah.
but in the sense that you've just bamboozled somebody into thinking a question, and then
Totally.
they go, shit, actually.
It's
You know
sort of the
what
Darren Brown kind of thing, isn't
Yeah,
it? Where
mind-
like you
mind
can walk down the
manipulation.
street and you see certain
Kind
words.
of, yeah.
you
And
need
I
that
mean, it's
number.
like our people. Is it real? Is it witchcraft? We'll be talking about it.
We will indeed.
Yeah, stuff's going on.
Good. Good. Yes. We've got our minds ticking.
It's a busy week this week coming up.
Oh, is it?
I will normally at this point go, what have you been up to this week? But we've got stuff coming up.
We have.
In the coming week.
Yeah.
That I think we should talk about. One of which.
Let's go for it.
One of which is
Which is that?
the Jubilee.
The Jubilee. Yes.
The Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee.
The Queen's Jubilee.
She's got a lot going on as our Queen.
Yeah, she's been a busy little lady.
She's been smiling a lot. She does look happy. She's like, it's all about me. Yeah. I'm the Queen. She's, she's
two birthdays.
She's got two birthdays. This is the second Jubilee celebration. We talked about the Jubilee a couple of months ago, back in February.
That's right.
When it actually was the Jubilee.
Yeah.
And now she's having the Jubilee again.
She is.
Right.
She loves her Jubilee.
She does.
She
right?
does.
So the Queen, right? God bless her.
Queen,
God save her.
God
right?
save our Queen.
She's been
Yes.
royally saved.
Yes. 70 years.
oh,
Beautiful on the crown.
Carry on. No half days here, love.
Yeah, no.
You probably won't get monetized after this, but
That's it, last show.
she's got no, I don't mean long term, just for playing the Queen, just for playing this. But
We should play it every week.
so the Queen at the end of the show, she's got a lot going on. Like I say, she's got a full roster. She's
Yeah.
got
She's been ill
street
lately as well.
parties, she's give everybody an extra day off.
She has, yeah.
Like, so we've got the Thursday off. We've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice long weekend.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Already,
yeah.
bunting, banners, all types of merriment going on. You know, these cakes with little royal bit thingamabobs on them.
Also
sold.
Accidents, as we found out today.
Why? What happened? What?
2 stages collapsed and 5
oh God,
people got hurt.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's obviously not going to happen on the night.
No.
They've got some big names performing as well, haven't they?
I should imagine. Like,
oh, no, they have. I think,
they?
What's her name? Is it not Tina Turner? Is it? Potentially Tina Turner. I think she's not performed for ages, but...
Well, you know Cliff's going to be there, don't you?
Well, Elton John's been, asked to...
yeah, Elton John will be there.
I'm just Googling Tina Turner, because I don't want to say Tina Turner's going to be performing.
Who else? Well, there hasn't actually been a list up yet, is there? As far as I've
Well, no, I think, anything. It'll be a...
it'll be a secret till the end, and it'd be like, oh,
big
look
surprise,
who's turning
obviously.
She could have jumped out the helicopter with a parachute again with James Bond.
God knows, maybe. The Queen.
Yeah. Did it for the 2012 Olympics.
Well,
we all know it weren't her.
I mean, whatever happens, it's going to be good. I think Queen are going to be performing. Brian May, didn't he do, a thing on the roof of Buckingham Palace.
Yes,
and that was
they
pretty
might do that
cool.
again. Yeah.
So maybe.
There's plenty of room there, you know what I mean? So, keep the electric down.
Yeah, don't be
pay a lot
smashing off the
in the
electric
next couple
bill.
Of months, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, that's going on anyway. So, obviously,
good luck to Queen.
Good luck to the Queen.
We'll be watching some I've already seen. Some of.
Pretty sure there'll be. She's got processions, and there'll be the colour guard thing. With the Queen's.
Queen's parade.
And a whole manner of TV stuff going on. I think there'll be a lot of stuff on the TV that had marked the event.
Yeah. It's good to see, man.
What is it? The Platinum Jubilee. Right. Yeah. Well, good luck, Queen. Right. Well, stuff I'm looking forward to coming up week, in the week coming up, even. TV programmes starting back up again. Thank God, because there's been nothing to watch.
It's true.
Well, it's true. We've got 3 or 4 shows starting in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So you've got Stranger Things Series 4, which is scheduled to be released worldwide exclusively to Netflix, which is streaming in 2 volumes.
I got start number 1 on that.
They're doing volumes in this time, so this is going to be 2 blocks.
2 blocks
the
of
first
volumes.
set will be May the 27th, which is only next week.
Yeah.
And
next Friday,
the second 5 episodes will be in another block, which will start in the 1st of July.
Yeah.
So it's not too far off, but they used to drop the whole series in one chunk.
Now they're trying to get you to beg for it.
Basically, it's like, I think they've realised that if they put it out in one chunk, they'll have a lot of people subscribe for 1 month and then drop it.
Yeah,
especially at the moment when there's a cost of living crisis.
And they are in serious
Netflix
trouble.
is probably one of the first things you're going to look at maybe cancelling for a couple of months while, you're watching the purse strings.
Yeah.
So I think them doing this in 2 blocks and spreading it out over 2 payment months.
Yeah.
As ensured that they're not just going to do that. They've got to at least have 2 months before they cancel.
Yeah, so they're gonna get something out of it.
Ooh, is that a cheeky move? I don't know.
It's business move.
But that's
really?
Again, like I say, starts next week, 27th of May. The Boys.
Yeah.
Season 3 starts on the 3rd of June.
Yes.
That's available on Amazon Prime, which I can't wait for the Boys to start. And obviously as well, the Umbrella Academy Season 3 has a release date of the 22nd of June, which isn't too far away.
I just ain't got time for too many series, man. There's lots of series out.
Well, there is a few series. It's quite a lot that somebody recommended me a series the other day, and I was like, right, I'll give it a go. And when I went to watch it, they only had from season 6 onwards, and I was like, well, that's no good because there's 5 seasons that I want to watch.
Yeah,
that you've not included in the box set.
Yeah,
and it's well, that's terrible. So
people
I never ended up watching it, but. Yeah.
People tip me off for not watching Breaking Bad. I haven't seen any of that. Or Lost, when Lost was on.
I'd say Breaking Bad's the better option. If you wanted to start a show now,
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say Lost, I'd say Breaking Bad, because it's got a good ending, it's got a good story, it's got everything's great about it. It's like, whereas Lost,
Yeah, I just hadn't had
it's a
the
bit
time
confusing
to
and you might not be satisfied.
watch blocks of series, you know what I mean? And like I said, there's a lot of series, and I made my mind up
What
a
you
couple of
do,
years ago to
I mean,
stop watching
look,
a lot
right,
of
I
series.
think a lot of people are kind of set on this with this lifestyle of binge watching.
Yeah.
Right. And you've not got the time for binge watching.
No.
But what you will find is that you've got a time for an episode a night.
Yeah,
Schedule your
ways.
TV.
Yeah.
That, if you sat down to watch a couple of soaps a night and you
Yeah.
don't do that anymore, but you want to
Well-
watch stuff and fill that time, then
Yeah.
you schedule a couple of episodes of a show and do
Yeah,
your
I
own
do that. I
scheduling.
do that
Do you
every
know
now
what I
and
mean?
again.
You don't
Yeah.
have to watch a whole
Oh,
box
totally.
set in 24 hours.
Oh
You
yeah,
can,
I'm not really
You
into
can
that
watch one a
anyway.
night or one a week.
Yeah.
Like TV
Yeah, I
used
generally
to be.
do one a night. Yeah.
Oh, the good old
Yeah, the
days.
good old days,
When
yeah.
TV used to come in through the telly, through
Yeah.
the wire on the roof.
Yeah, and you used to get off your ass and actually press the button to turn over.
Yeah, or turn a dial
Yeah.
where it'd
Yeah.
slip off and go, and you'd be like, oh, I have to get up and
Yeah. but-
adjust.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Adjust
but,
my knob.
you know, gives you good
Bubble.
reason to do a little bit of exercise.
Yeah. So other than that, that's it. I'm excited for TV. Like,
Seen
anyway,
any films lately?
I watched the Batman finally.
I've watched half of it.
Well, I thought it was great in terms of groundedness.
Thought
Everyone
it was a
kind
bit
of goes on
dark.
about the Christian Bale,
Yeah.
Nolan, Batman being grounded in real sort of life.
Yeah, I
think
like
this one
that kind of one.
is very similar, and it's almost like the Frank Miller Year 1 saw Year 2 Batman graphic novels, as well as it's more. The villains are more believable as well. Like, when you've got the Penguins, a bit more of a mafioso, and the Riddler's a bit of a psycho.
Yeah, he's not what I expected.
It's not what you
either.
expect,
No,
and it's like even the Batman costume seems a bit more homemade.
Yeah.
With the leather cowl rather than the custom made in Taiwan.
Yeah,
fucking.
true.
We got to order a bajillion parts because
Yeah,
and
so it doesn't
we
look
can't-
suspect.
So it doesn't look suspicious, and we've got to get your ears from Taiwan and your cowl from fucking Hong Kong.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll bulk order.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of that.
got the money.
He just pulls it off. He's got a little sewing kit.
Yeah.
He fucking darns it.
I guess someone else do it, innit?
Yeah, we've got Alfred to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just went, get a couple of kids down, and we're paying shit wages, and we'll get them to make the suits for us.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's like, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but they're the worst. How do you think they keep the money?
we'll ask Elon Musk if we ever meet him.
Yeah.
We'll just go, have you got, like a little shop that you make, like Iron Man little shop, but you don't actually make the stuff, you've just got like some...
Yeah, you got some like little studio out back where they make them for you.
Yeah.
it's got to.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
Red Wall Radio this week.
Yes,
Thursday
Wall.
from 8 p.m. We're available for your listening pleasure if you've not checked out Red Wall Radio.
Oh, yeah.
They're an online radio station which cater for a good wide variety of tastes.
They do.
They've got some really interesting hosts. And it's a good mix.
Yeah.
You want to get over there and check it out. And it's worldwide, so no matter where you are living in the world,
You can
listen in.
Yeah.
We're available again from 8 p.m. on
Lovely.
Thursday.
Yes, so try not to miss.
Yeah. So there's been a big fun run, not a fun run, a marathon happening in Manchester today. Congratulations to
right.
everyone who ran that.
Yes. Hope you're.
I used to cover that a couple of years ago
Did you?
as a photographer. Yeah. So like I cover it for Manchester Children's Hospital charity.
See?
So like I'd go around, they had a bus, big red bus, and like, anyone wearing the T-shirt,
Yeah.
you'd photograph, and it was
Oh right.
yeah,
Okay.
it was a good little day. I liked, nice
I
experience.
was going to steward this year to it.
Was you?
Yeah, I was going to, but it was a letdown.
So it's a lot. It's very busy. It's not what you would expect. You
No.
know, like it's like the amount of people who come out to just attend, to watch family members and co-workers.
and it's been
stuff
nice
to go
and
past.
sunny as well.
Lovely
so
day.
it's lovely to go out
handing
with the
out
family.
bottles of water, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but well done to everyone who participated.
Yes, hope you all got a medal. If if you didn't go back
did it in a good time. Oh, it's not all about making it in a good time.
Yeah, it's not all about the race.
It's not all about the race. It's about taking the part.
That's it.
That counts.
Enjoy it while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Not like race through and go. Zing, oh, I missed that. What are you on about?
Well, this week's episode's brought to you in part by Audible.
Oh yeah.
Audible is a great way to make the most of every moment and try audiobooks. Yeah. You know, sometimes you think, oh, well, I need something to listen to on my commute, and sometimes that's a podcast, but sometimes you might think want something different.
That's right.
Audiobook.
Massive range.
You can get a great range, including bestsellers, new releases, sci-fi, romances, mysteries, classics, and more. Yeah. In fact, a friend actually messaged us and said there was a book they were reading about spider, like some sort of kind of sci-fi spider planet. Yeah, and I was like, oh, telling me more about this. Before. This sounds amazing. Yeah. So it's like some sort of sci-fi novel. I think it's called Children of Time. Okay. Right. Audiobook. And it's sort of like a H.G. Wells time machine sort of story. Like you've got the Morlocks and the the others, like the humanoid sort of creatures.
It's kind of got a switch to it, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got a kind of a sciencey switch to it, where it's basically like there was a plan to terraform a planet, like,
and as usual, it doesn't go straight to plan, does it?
Use a virus that could basically
quickly react with the foundations of the planet to
enhance the evolutionary development of the planet, including these monkeys he were going to send down. But it all goes wrong, and it doesn't accelerate the monkeys as much as you'd think. But the spiders,
oh my day!
Well, you'd have to listen, and that's available on Audible. It's called "Children of Time" by Adrian Tchaikovsky.
So there's one to tick off in your
definitely.
Your book.
Well, you can get that one as your free book because after you get one book for signing up. On a free trial, but if you're a Prime member and you sign up as a free trial, you get two.
So you could have,
that and something else. Yeah. But after 30 days, you'll receive another book as part of your monthly subscription of £7.99. You can download and listen to a world's best storytelling, enjoy audiobooks, original series, and much more. On Audible, there'll be a link in the description.
They will, and there's different characters and actors and actresses that
do all the narration. Yes, so there's a good cast. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, it's good to cast people. So if you like a certain person or want them to read this, you might be able to find it.
Well, yeah, they do. Right, so moving on with the show, we were talking curses.
Oh yes.
What do you thinking? What's your thinking behind your curses? Do you think? You know, have you seen any major instances where you thought that's definitely cursed? He's definitely cursed, or you can't have that much bad luck.
I'd say Oak Island's got to be one of them.
Well, Oak Island's interesting because obviously I've got a real fascination with the story. Yeah. But that's right. In terms of what I've witnessed with the show, Curse of Oak Island. No major curses. I mean,
totally agree,
in terms of like being cursed to forever dig holes and not really find anything, or not find the thing you were expecting, but finding more questions. That is real, like a curse in itself. Yeah,
well,
right.
Yeah, true. A lot of money been spent
banging your head against the wall. Yeah, when you say money spent, it reminds me of the Tom Hanks movie, The Money Pit. Yeah, okay, right, where you buy a house and it's like, oh, this is going to be our dream home, and the more you start doing the work on it, and the more work you do, the more you uncover, which equals more work that needs to be done and more money that you need to spend.
Less profit on your house
exactly,
as it goes down. If you left it alone, it would have been...
The estimates go up, you know, all your building materials.
Got big spatial agencies
your
and
time
stuff.
frame, because basically you can't do that job now because you've got to get some other guy in to do some structural
Fucked
work.
Up, you didn't look at it before you
all
bought.
these factors. And, you know, that's bad luck. But it's also... just like you said, you didn't check it out before you bought it, right?
You know what I mean?
So is it a case of that you've just kind of, you put it down to bad luck? Because how can you explain is it just a way of rationalising a string of bad events that happen, or would you say it was cursed? And that if you were cursed, who cursed you?
Yeah, and why?
And why?
Yeah. Well, it's
pretty bold.
I suppose for Oak Island, it would be because
well, it's
of
a
the
protection thing,
yeah,
isn't it, with
yeah.
Oak Island?
But then it's one of them things as well that the story's been going on for generations, and you've got little bits here and there. But within that story,
now,
they've passed that curse down, and it's just getting into your head.
Again, with the curse of Oak Island, you've got to wonder how you interpret it, right? As well. So it says how many people die. 9 people die before the treasure is revealed, right?
In the 8.
There's been 8, yeah,
not that long
but
ago.
there's been people who have died naturally, but
true.
in pursuit, a lifelong pursuit of finding that treasure, so they devoted their life to it to try and find it. I'd say if they died in that vein. I think they should be counted. I don't know, because they died never finding it. That's a curse.
That's the
Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree with that. I was just about to say.
Why are they not counted, and why is that not broken the curse, if you like? Do you know what I mean? And like I say, people have only died of natural causes.
That's true.
They've not died in any tragic way, which, let's touch wood, they don't, because I mean, obviously health and safety these days should be a bit more on the ball.
That's true, but then if you go to another cursed place of the Skinwalker Ranch, where there's actually been proven people actually have got physical damage, yet no one knows what it is. The place is so it's got so many different things happening at the same time, and it looks like that it might end up being just like some kind of form of science, like with radiation and stuff like that, because
radiation, I potentially think it could just be a belief thing, like preying on people's beliefs. But
there's magnetic areas which there shouldn't be massive magnetic fields and stuff like that they've just found, and it looks like that it was a place where a meteorite landed, but then it doesn't explain other seeing spirits and like seeing UFOs and like seeing werewolves and stuff that moves and like different kinds of lights.
So there's also like curses that have weight in the terms of the like the Hope Diamond, for instance, right? There's a curse surrounding the Hope Diamond that suggests that anyone who actually possesses the diamond might pass away. And then when that actually happens, it's interesting to think, well, what was the connection there? Was there something to the diamond?
Why does it keep the person who keeps hold of this incidents happen?
Yeah, why do
sort of like the crying boy? Why is there so many fires?
Well, this is the thing. I think most people would say that it's just because there's so many of those paintings up, and the chances are that there's such a high rate of people with the painting that
but with
if
this
there's a fire,
diamond,
good chance that they've probably got that painting up.
I think it's more of stop it being thieved, because it's a big diamond, and like it's the fear factor of people. I mean, some of these stories may be made up, you know what I mean, along the centuries that it's been around, to do the scary business of stopping it.
It was the jeweler who actually spread the rumor and spread the story, claiming that the diamond was actually cursed, and it brought bad luck to those who owned it. By 1839, the diamond supposedly ended up with Henry Phillips Hope, the Dutch collector based in London. And sources of the stone's modern name, the Hope Diamond, so that's why they call it that.
Right, okay.
Sometime after that, a European and American newspapers began claiming that the Hope Diamond carried a curse. So once it gets to the papers, and
I think
it's well known that it's got a curse. They're very, very active in spreading curses, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
I think with the painting as well, that was the Sun newspaper that kind of started spread it.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Like I say, I mean, a curse is like, if it is psychological and it's an idea, then the more people who believe it, the more power it has, and therefore, maybe it does give
It
you bad
might
luck.
work that way, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If everybody's kind of on
Well,
it,
we don't
and
know the
it's,
science
like
behind
gone
it.
viral, if you like.
Yeah, there could be some connection across that. I think that there's a high chance that there probably is. It's all it's psychological between a basis of a number of people, which actually sort of makes like a field of it. You know what I mean? Like a field, and then that gets passed along, and then someone comes up with a story to add to it, and it's like sort of like campfire stories.
It's funny, like when you say a field, like you mean a grassy field.
Yeah, sort of like, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? I was looking into this curse. See what you make of this, because this is proper cursed stuff. This, right? And I found this proper quite interesting, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it was the Battle of Tippecanoe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in the mid 20th century, it began to note a pattern of presidential deaths. Right.
Yes.
So, starting with William Henry Harrison and ending in JFK, right? Every 20 years, the country's elected president would die in office. So this is quite interesting, right? So check this out, and this is really coincidental.
Yeah.
So, and this is all their presidential election year as well.
That's right.
Which is every the 20th year, every 20th year or whatever. So, like.
Yeah.
So Harrison was the first president to die in office. He was elected in 1840. The next president to die included Abraham Lincoln, who was elected in 1860. And then again in 1864. James A. Garfield elected in 1880. William McKinley elected 1890. Warren G. Harding elected in 1920, Franklin D. Roosevelt 1940, and then JFK, who was actually elected 1960.
Yeah,
but
63, but he could have gone on if someone didn't interrupt it.
Potentially, yeah. So, but that's the point, isn't it? They all died in office.
Yeah,
but 20 years apart.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean that. They're saying that was because they believed that there was a curse from the Battle of Tippecanoe, yeah, which I assume was like a battle with Native Americans.
Yeah, that's right.
And they believe the Native Americans have put this curse on the America.
Yeah, a lot of curses.
America, yeah, that's the putting the curse on that their leaders, their president will have a bad time of it, I suppose.
Well, then you could also say the tribes could put a curse, but then 20 years they've got like a little group.
But the
which,
coincidental, how
do a little
coincidental
something
is
to
that?
actually keep them.
What you need to like pass down the information.
Well, no, like you have like a little Illuminati group.
Like
and
they
go
go
right,
out, we're
well,
going to assassinate.
we'll kill him in 20 years. We'll kill him in 20 more years. You tell your son. You tell your grandson.
That's not like that.
Well, you
can't.
You know what I mean? No, yeah, I know. It's very unlikely that's.
Rogue assassins, training the kids up to kill future presidents. That's a movie. That if anyone wants to buy the rights, Taylor owns that.
Copyrighted and listed.
Patent pending.
Yeah, I'm cheap. I'm not that cheap though. But
he is. He was telling me some of the stuff he'd do for money earlier.
That's not for money.
Oh dear. Right. Well, the Curse of Macbeth.
Yeah, that's a really
the Scottish
good one.
player should say. He's not supposed to say that during a performance, are you?
Well, you're not supposed to say "good luck, actor or actress."
Yeah, well, you say break a leg, don't you? Which I find a bit like. Obviously, it's I'm used to it because like you just hear it.
Definitely think that is psychological.
But break a leg is like the one thing you don't want to do. But wishing someone good luck is bad luck.
Yeah.
Theatre rules, theatre people.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but it's sort of a tradition now. You know what I mean? So we can't really take it away because we still today like do it. You know what I mean? And it's been there for a long, long time.
Well, apparently there's been a lot of tragedy, and it has tragedy surrounding the play. So that's why.
Yeah, it was a bit stabby.
Curse these eyes, curse these fucking eyes.
Yeah, But yeah, I think it's down to tradition now, to be honest, than curse.
Curses.
Yeah. But then again, if you're an actor, an actress, or someone who's been on stage and you've said good luck, or
curses are like more superstition, I think. I think that's it. I think it is kind of like, I mean, I'm not saying they're not real.
I think that
and
it's an attachment.
I don't want to tempt fate.
Yeah.
But like, in the respect that curses,
I think there's a groups.
I think
curses is,
and again, wouldn't you really have to fucking hate someone to do a curse on them? That's effort. Or it might not be. I mean, I'm not a big, I don't know how to do
Well, has
them,
anyone not bought a heather and had a curse on
lucky
by
heather?
a gypsy? Yeah.
If you just scatter some sage or burn some sage,
Is that
that's kind of like a cleansing, isn't it? But is that just for ghosts or paranormal? Because you could argue,
it is.
I mean, were you witchcraft? But witchcraft and that sort of thing, curses. In your Harry Potters, they have certain levels of curses, don't they? They have a bit of a bad luck curse.
True.
Yeah, but then they have the killing curse where you can actually kill someone with a curse.
Well, words are powerful, man.
I mean,
they
might be. I mean, but are they that powerful that you could actually kill somebody with?
Well, yeah. If I was that clever, I could convince you a certain thing to do.
Well, there is actually spells of death. Spells for death of man.
Oh,
here's one.
Oh, we don't want that.
So you basically, what it always says in these articles is that you need somebody. You need somebody who is actually a bit more experienced in the art of casting black magic.
Of course, because there's going to be certain potions and that.
Because you do have a lot of spells, so these types of spells. So one is a spell for the death of man. Instant death spell, which is any quick death spell, is designed to take out an individual in moments, like an assassin spell.
That's called a gun.
Well, why? The government fucking need to. They should be hiring witches by the sounds of it.
Who knows if they are?
Angela Lansbury in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Voodoo death spell.
Ooh, right.
It's another one. The black magic death spell. There's a fair few, I mean, but they all advise that you work, with people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, so boys and girls don't play this at home.
Don't mess with forces that you don't
words
understand.
Words are powerful.
Yeah. So I mean, hexes, curses, jinxes, these types of things, they do exist in a lot of different cultures.
That's true.
What would
Numbers, colours, even words, certain words.
Really? I mean, bad luck omens in numbers, definitely, because I think, when you think about, 13 being an unlucky number, we've just had a Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's right.
Was it a bad luck day for you?
Actually, no. To be honest, but then I didn't step under some ladders or see a cat.
Well, it doesn't matter if you, is that the trigger?
Well, no, but I think
I'm having a good day so far, but then you see a ladder and you're like, shit, I'm magnetically drawn to walk underneath it. Just walk around it, bro.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you can't. I think it's also kick
him off his ladder.
On the psychological part of I never used to a thing I never used to do a 7 with a line in it.
Okay.
But I always now do a 7 with a line in it. I know what it means. I know what it's for. I know what it's for. But I never used to do that until I found out what it meant, and it was like, you know what? I kind of like the design.
What does it mean?
It's actually from another country. It's actually a foreign 7.
So
I've always
through my 7s.
It's not like a curse though, but it's more like it's an attachment to my writing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think on doing other stuff, you kind of grab attachments on certain ways certain people talk, or without even knowing that you're doing it. I've noticed over the years that I've caught someone saying something and it's like, I like that, and the way they've said it, and it's like, and then I found out later on you've
implemented it into your own little
without
life.
even realising I realised I did it. You know what I mean?
There you go. You've been influenced. There you go.
I
This is the thing, because there's totally loads of different types of curses, and like there's some that are really like interesting, like mummies and tombs and stuff like this. It's like, how would you say? Because there was a lot of bloodletting, blood sacrifice sort of.
That's true. It's supposed to help you, heal you, or doing that kind of stuff. There was different methods, though, weren't there? You know what I mean? Because like we didn't really understand the form of the body and how to get rid of certain issues.
Yeah. So I mean, like the idea of a mummy coming back as a zombie or this type of thing. It's like the idea that it's going to come back and.
I think films
is a mummy a zombie? I'd say so, but the curse is more it'll come back and haunt you or come back and stalk you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you disturb it.
Yeah, a mummy will just eat anything.
Anyone who does kind of open the tomb would be kind of like poisoned or whatever, or die.
Yeah.
Right, and there was an instance, weren't they?
That's right, King Tut.
Was it King Tut's? Because there was people who went into the tomb. And then they started suddenly dying, and it turned out that there was some sort of
airborne virus or the bacteria.
It was a bacteria, wasn't it, or a fungus of some description? But something was in the tomb that
bacteria infection.
They were breathing in, and it killed them. Yeah. So was that the curse, or was that just coincidence? Now it's another coincidence that. It was attached to a curse, and that they did say if anyone goes in, they will die. Was that planted there? Yeah. Was it just naturally occurring?
I think it's a part of the mummy stage of keeping the form, that like this stuff could turn into a bacteria infection after a long period. Because don't forget, it's 14th century BC. And then we only, a British person opened it in 1923. Now, that's a long time, you know what I mean?
Stuff alone.
Yeah. And now we know bacteria can live in so many different places.
In space.
Even in space,
It actually thrives in space, bacteria.
Does.
I think it doubled in size compared to the Earthbound
Yeah, that
friends.
was food poisoning, on the...
E. coli, I think it was.
That was right. And it was like, it was such a surprise to the science then. But yeah, so you're talking like, a long time that it's been there, and it gives the chance of, forming and changing.
Talking about a long time ago, the Bible has instances of curses, I've got to say. You can't not talk about it.
True. And magic.
They talk, like, what about your firstborn sons if you've not got, if you've not got some bit of blood on your door or something?
Then the Roman soldiers will come and
I don't know, but there was a lot of
like
instances of wrath and curse where it was more spiritual, where it was like, a curse, like a plague is a curse of some description, isn't it? If you're intending wrath and malice and sort of
blood
trying
from
to
the
get
sky
your
as
sort
well.
of like vengeance across, then I'd say that would be a curse, a curse of locusts, or a curse of like a flood.
9 events or something beforehand. I'm sure it was put in the Bible that it was a curse for man, that you would go through all these events.
I don't know. I mean, I don't cover the Bible too much.
Well, to be honest, I haven't seen the Bible in a long time, and I never really read it properly then.
That Gideon bloke, he keeps
just
leaving
taking
them
bits
everywhere,
every now and again. The only reason
keep finding is
bits of information.
But yeah, I mean, we've covered objects. Objects can be powerful sort of curse items because obviously,
There's a lot of them as well.
it can influence potentially the person who owns it or has it. We talked about the Hope Diamond earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's more of an energy with it being like a big diamond, a big crystal sort of, it's come from the earth? It's like, or had it, is it a diamond or is it a diamend? I don't know, mate. Jewelers are going to tell me that it's a diamond, but I mean, if it's the biggest one we've ever found, then maybe it's got a free, like a resonancy or something that kind of gives off a sort of unsettling aura about it. You know, I don't know.
But I think mostly on that, I think it was the security of it, and it was from the shopkeeper who made it and all that. That he actually threw the rumours out, so
To
it
try and give it a bit of a legend
chance of
behind it.
Well, yeah, that's
maybe
it.
a bit of history behind it as well, because you know, obviously, you know, you got to commend his marketing department, haven't you? Really?
Oh, that's true.
Do you know
That's
what I mean?
true. It works, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, anything that you found out about curses? Because I've got a few more bits and pieces.
Yeah, I've found a few actually, but it's mainly land curses than anything. There's a forest in Romania, where in 1968 a UFO was spotted hovering over the forest, which I thought was a bit strange.
Well, yeah.
spotted,
I mean, it's like, do you usually see UFOs hovering above the forest? It was like, well, not on a Wednesday, which I thought was highly peculiar.
well, yeah, but it ends up being that lots of people have disappeared going into this forest.
Ooh.
Even to this day. And the locals actually call it the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, why are
of
these people
Transylvania.
going into the forest? Are they trying to track down loved ones and then disappearing
Just a
themselves? Or, I mean, like, well, yeah, I know, but if you've got a reputation of being like, you don't want to go in that forest, you'll disappear.
Yeah, but he probably didn't have that reputation at first, and then they've noticed the UFO over there, and they was talking about portals and stuff as well as over the time. But
Ooh,
then as
portals.
people go, yeah,
Not portholes.
Yeah.
But portals.
Portals.
If you had a portal, though, where would it be taking them? Where would that portal be
That's a
taking
question.
those people?
It's a question because he never come back.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
thing. You
so-
say maybe onto a better life.
Well, yeah,
Who
it is
knows?
hopefully. Yeah.
A certain death.
Well, yeah.
It's one or t'other, isn't it?
Well, I did find one of a princess. I
like a good. Go on, I like a good
it's a
princess
four.
story. I've got a princess story as well, actually.
Oh, yeah.
We'll end it on princess stories. Go on, cursed
Well,
princesses.
In central India, there was a fort in the 16th century where there was 1,000 people who lived there, and there was a princess, and princes from apparently all around the world wanted to marry this woman, and she wouldn't she'd go like nah. So
she was a picky woman.
She was very
a very
picky.
fussy lady.
Yeah,
which
very
she's
fussy.
got all right to be.
Yeah.
And especially in them day and age. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had a very good situation to be in if she can be afford to be so picky.
That's right. So she ended up going to doing a bit of shopping, and there was
As they do.
an old man called Skindia.
Right. Okay. I can
We
see
have
where
his
this is
name.
going. Is she going to marry the old man?
Well, he asked,
Oh, right,
and she went no. So he went, well, here's
Here's me
some
number, love,
perfume.
if you ever decide.
Well, he gave us some perfume in a bottle,
Right.
which was cursed. So apparently she threw it to the ground, broke the glass, and so he put a curse on the whole village and the whole fort. And then 2 days later, they were totally surrounded and getting bombarded in a war.
So was this war not even like on the cards before the perfume?
No.
Ah, right. Okay.
So it was.
What happened?
Some
Has
black
this-
magic.
So is this town been cursed forevermore?
Yes.
Because
but
I mean, I've heard of like people saying like that it's a cursed town, but it's usually like the crazy guy on the
I
bus.
think it's called.
It's cursed. I tells you.
It is, but it's a place where you can visit today.
Right. Okay. Well, if you're in the area, go and check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe don't get too close, though, because the curse might rub off on you. I've got
you
a
don't
princess story here as well. It's actually the real life Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, right. Okay.
Now, this is a story of a potential curse because they couldn't work out what the hell was going on in this instance. Olsen was born in Slovakia, right? She was about 5 years old. She had a couple of kids, like siblings, one older, one younger, a couple of brothers younger.
Yeah.
And basically, she was out one day and suffered a head injury outdoors. Yeah, right. About age 14, right, at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's this was about 1876, the year. Yeah, right. So she seemed to recover quite quickly from the head injury, right? But the next day, she started complaining about toothache, right? Now, she couldn't remember how she fell originally, right? Or what happened to get the head injury.
Probably pushed her over.
She's now complaining that she's got toothache, right? So the parents actually believed that the toothache and the head injury were all witchcraft, that somebody had done it intentionally using witchcraft, right? And at that point, she was saying, I've got really bad toothache, my head's hurting, all the rest of it. So they've sent her to bed to rest, right? But they didn't realise how much rest she'd actually get, right? Because she went to bed and she never actually woke up. So
she was sort of in a coma.
Almost, yeah, kind of like in a coma. The father was actually only a fisherman, unable to afford a doctor, and the family basically had to just basically
keep her there,
do everything they could to try and find out.
How did they feed her?
They got the local midwife to come down and check her over. Olsen's mother force fed her milk and sugar water. Yeah,
fair enough. How are you going to get rid of the piss and?
Just had to deal with it. She was bedbound. She never woke up. She never stirred. She was literally asleep. Yeah. When they find, sorry, I do apologise. When they did finally get a doctor to see her, they surmised she probably was in some sort of coma. Now, bear in mind, this is 1800s, or the end of the 1800s. They'd not really got much in the way of kind of like knowledge in today's terms.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if today's terms could answer it, because, like, you know, she was in this state for, I'd say, around, I think, 14 years.
14 years?
So she was getting on 40 when she finally did come out of it. But by this point, all her brothers were grown up.
Yeah. A lot of things had changed.
The mum and her dad had both passed away. But had dedicated their lives to looking after this, the daughter.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, she'd not really aged. Yeah.
What?
It was almost like she was in a suspended animation, because they'd said throughout that her hair and her fingernails never seemed to grow. Yeah, as
strange.
well
Alien.
as when she was to wake up.
Yeah,
it was a case of that she'd ended up with a nanny who was looking after her, like somebody who, you know, I think like a carer. Yeah. So the carer who was looking after her said she'd heard her stir and make noises and like kind of like as a sleeping person would.
That's right.
But she'd never seen her sitting upright, and then one morning she just did, and it was like, say, she was almost in her 40s or into her 40s, and she looked like she was around early 20s, like you know, like, say, her hair and, you know, nails never grew. She was just kind of like in a bit of a suspended animation.
She still have an headache and a toothache?
I don't know, maybe not. I mean, like, maybe they got the dentist in during that time.
Yeah, it's probably fell out by then.
Well, yeah, because no one's complaining about it, are they? She's not going, I've got toothache, I need to deal with it. It's like, if you don't know and you don't tell her, then, you know, we don't know.
That's true.
She could have been suffering all that time. But,
yeah, in her mind.
Yeah, but, you know, 14, I think 14 or 14, 20, it was quite a long time, but after, you know, for her to be in that situation, it was around 26 years. So, I mean, was that a curse? Was that something medical?
I think she was lucky there more than a curse.
What was it that the parents, why did the parents think that she was cursed in the first place?
Yeah, well, it could have been stories, you know, whoever found her, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like,
there must be some reason.
There's plenty of different avenues. Obviously, there's the supernatural, spiritual powers, such as gods or God, spirits,
and that.
Natural forces, spells, magic, black magic,
mushrooms,
witchcraft, hexes, jinxes. You know, they all come from different places. You know, and you know, it's a. I mean, they've been used in a lot of plot devices. Sports teams believe in, you know, superstition in the way that they feel like one team, they believe that they had a mascot, a goat that was jinxed.
All right.
And they had to get rid.
I
don't know if they had to do a blood sacrifice with it. Yeah, I don't know. But
Lamb curry.
have you ever been hexed, jinxed, cursed? We want to know. We'd like to hear your stories.
Oh, yeah.
Let us know. Give us a shout, and I hope you've enjoyed a bit of knowledge, bit of information. So moving on, I think we've got the news coming up.
Yeah.
But before that, I think, I don't know. Is it before that? We'll see you in a sec.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we've got plenty coming up anyway in the show. So get on the mic, Taylor. We're all live and shit. So yeah, we've got plenty coming up, including the news, which is coming up right now. It's the news! Holy schmoly, it is indeed the news. And we've scoured the World Wide Web to find you the weirdest, bizarrest news that's going on in the world. From right here in the UK to all the way around the world, I suppose. Round in America seems to be a hot spot most weeks. Yeah. There's always a load of mad stuff going on in the States. Florida man here has been arrested after repeatedly calling 911.
Why?
Why? He wants them to arrest Joe Biden.
So have they?
No, they've not. But the Florida man, 29, from Palm Harbor, was arrested on Sunday night for calling the 911 dispatch several times to say that El Chap needs to be freed from prison, and President Biden needs to be placed in prison, according to the arrest report.
Oh, that was that drug lord that was just brought in.
So why does El Chap need to be released and Joe Biden put in?
Because he was the leader of the biggest crack cocaine.
Talking about crack cocaine. Yeah. It's like the finest cocaine.
Yeah, finest. But he's been on the wanted list for a long time, and they finally caught him about 2 weeks ago.
El Chap.
Yeah.
Well, Chappie. So basically, yeah. So I mean, why did he think the police would do that? Why did he think the police would let him, just go and arrest the president and let a drug baron go?
Well, yeah. Well, he must have been on it himself. He must have been.
He might have been. Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna fucking had enough of this. I'm calling the police.
Fucking nut.
I'm off my tits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you've seen in the news?
I've
got loads of news tonight.
Oh yeah. Finland are about to lose their gas from Russia.
You got to. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only 7% now, so it won't.
Doesn't matter.
Really.
I mean, 7%. You say it doesn't
6
matter,
for us.
But I mean, we kind of, we're already in a kind of a
problem
crisis in terms of economy and fuel crisis, cost of living, all these types of things.
It's because of the agreement they're signing.
I mean, and you're saying we've got 6% to look forward to on losing in terms of what we get from Russia.
Yeah. So
if Finland join NATO, right? They've said the Russian government have said there will be consequences. Right.
Yeah.
So does that mean because they're only not far from the Ukraine? I mean, in terms of taking the war into another country, I think that could potentially be a move.
Well, yeah, because there's actually a part of.
So like we said, would there be consequences?
Part of Finland got took over in, I think it was World War One. It might have been World War Two, but it got took over by the Russians, and then there was a decent fight back and pushed them out.
Now the difference is with this one, right? Is the NATO alliance or whatever it is, how it stands is that we can't really do anything to help the Ukraine because they're not NATO allies, right? But
long process.
If Finland do join NATO and they sign up and they become NATO allies, then we're obliged to. But the UK have actually just signed a treaty with them, basically saying that we are your allies. If anything happens, we've got your back.
Yeah.
So that was nice of us, wasn't it?
So
we love you, Finnish people.
I believe
keep it real.
It's really soon. I think it may be even next week or the week after. It's possibly next week. That's why they're turning off the gas. That they're actually going to sign to NATO. Hopefully, because the quicker we do this, the quicker we put a push on Putin. If he puts forces that way,
put a push on Putin. So I say that after 3 cans of wicked strength lager.
Yeah, some strong ball. He's going to he's going to have to split his force. He's going to put a lot more on his plate, and like we're not like the Ukraine. We're not going to take it. You know what I mean? And it's a case of, look, there's a bully there. He's pushed his way in one way, and he's trying to push his way in the other way. But I can also see where he's coming from.
Don't do
why
these
he's
bully boy
decided
tactics.
to invade. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because of promises which were broken. But at the end of the day, like, look, we need to get. It looks like we're going to have another Berlin Wall at the end of the day, but across Russia.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully not. But
let's
talks are
hope
the
not.
only things that can help at the minute.
Well, it's like what do you do? Home security, isn't it? It's like if you got the neighbours coming and trying to get on your garden, you put a big fence up, don't you?
Yeah, massive fence.
You don't want to do that.
Barbed wire, snipers.
Do you know? I've got this story here. Yeah. Do you know like COVID relief funds and stuff like that? Do you know when people were on the
bread line?
Well, we were all on the lockdowns, and we couldn't go to work, so you were getting sent checks to be relieved.
Yeah, 80%.
Relief you for a little bit. Yeah. Well, a man in Japan has basically he got mistakenly sent the whole town's fund.
Oh, nice.
They all got sent to him. Yeah. And what do you think he did with it?
Went out on the town, had a cracking night with his missus.
Well, he didn't go out on the town, but he did fritter it away pretty kind of quickly, because the money was supposed to be COVID-19 assistance for a low-income household in a small Japanese town, but basically it was mistakenly wired to a bank account
that
he owned, right? The 24-year-old jobless resident of the town basically went on an online gambling site. And he spent, which was 46.3 million yen. Now that sounds a lot, which it is. I mean, it is a lot in yen. Yeah, right. But it equates to $360,000.
$360,000.
Right.
Fuck! I would have packed my bags and fucks off.
It's taxpayers' money, and he spent it on gambling. So according to like the news agencies out there, 68,000 yen or $530 was left in his bank account. So he's literally just lost it all, basically, on gambling. So it goes to show you.
People as well. He
thought he
money.
might be able to flip it quick and make himself a few quid.
But the question is, did he know beforehand when he spent it?
I don't know.
If he didn't know before he spent it,
if you had a big chunk, if you had that amount of money just turn up in your bank, wouldn't you be a bit suspicious to where it come from?
No, I'd be taking it out, closing it down, and
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you'd
know that it wasn't your money. That's why you'd have to close your bank account down. Why would you need to close your account down if it was legitimately yours? So what I do is I'd leave it sat in the bank account. If nobody claimed it
for a certain amount of time,
then I might dip into it. But I think
I'd be cautious.
I'd be cautious by definitely. What would you guys do at home? I mean, if a large amount of money just dropped in your bank account,
I bet half of them went.
What would you do?
Drop it in,
what would you do?
I'm out of it.
Money laundering. That's I don't know what it could be.
Think of the poor people who didn't get the money, who needed that money at that time as well.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, you must be a bit. If you did know what it was, shame on you.
It's got to have a conscience.
Shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. But thinking about it, if it was in my account, a little bit more, and I might go.
Maybe. Well, what's your next story?
My next one, well, I'm not doing the full story here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blog on what I found out.
Ooh, that sounds promising.
Yeah, on monkeypox.
Oh, God, yeah, monkeypox.
I have been talking about it, so, I'm going to do a blog and put it on our website, which you
should be able to download. Well, you should be able to see it on the blog, on the website, like he's just said.
Yeah.
And that's at neverstraightanswer@gmail. No, that's at neverstraightanswer.co.uk.
That's the one.
If you want to email us, you can email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you like it and you want to ask any more questions, or you want me to have a look into something, or even if you want Gaz to, we're happy to do that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, because I like, coming up with topics for the show and stuff like that, but if there's anybody wants to come up, send us an email and say, you know what, we'd love to hear you,
talk about
find
this,
this, see what you can find out about this.
Yeah.
Or, we'd love to hear a deep dive about this topic or this UFO incident or anything, or, poltergeist incident.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to
Test
hear,
our metal, we'll try
you
and
send
find
us send us an email and we'll try and do an episode on it.
Yeah.
Not that we're running out of ideas.
No.
It's
But
always good to
episode,
include
we'll try
listener requested episodes.
We don't mind that.
So are you done? So we'll look forward to Taylor's blog coming up.
Yeah.
I've got this story about that's a bit silly, that one.
Is it? Well, all right.
It was a sausage thief, but I do have another one. These apparently an animal welfare organisations are speaking out against German indoor cat ban.
Oh,
so
why?
Outdoor cat ban, they're not allowed out. Right,
Ooh,
cats at the moment
could be
in a certain town.
Some kind of virus or that.
No, it's more about kind of other wildlife. So cat owners in Germany, in Waldorf, have been ordered to keep their cats in this week. At the end of this was back in August.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of August to protect the rare birds during their breeding season.
Ah, that's good. At least someone's looking out for the little birdies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to look after our wildlife now. We've treated it like we've treated them like shit. Majority of it, you know what I mean? So it's time to change our attitude and go and help a little bit more than destroy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's it about? It's not. Do you know what I mean?
But we all benefit out of it.
Why destroy stuff when building stuff's even better?
Nature's beautiful, you know what I mean? There's a lot of beauty in nature. It's just we like to tear it down and throw a fucking village there or something.
Well, or a bypass
tower.
Or a motorway or whatever.
A car park.
Has seen anything else?
Yes, there's a big issue that's going to come up in about 2024, which is with pandemics. Now the WHO, the World Health Organization, has organised with 194 countries to take control of it. If there's another pandemic, that they actually give the legal orders to tell them when. They could have told us
the
that
WHO?
like how that's the one. The WHO.
You were going to tell me as well, yeah.
Yeah, I was. World Health Organization.
The World Health Organization.
Who, by the way, do you know who pays their wages?
I don't know. Governments?
Yeah, but do you know which governments? And why are governments
I'm going to say
for
the UK government.
No, funny enough. It's
China.
Actually the US.
Yeah.
And also China, yeah. China pays the biggest amount. No
well, I
wonder
kind of thought that because they were kind of biased. There was a lot of
Biased,
reports saying they were quite biased in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So maybe that was why.
Yeah.
You never know.
What we're it's being organised now, but by 2024, the paperwork will be all set and ready to be signed. But then that means we lose our rights on that again, because they could turn around and go, right, everyone in that country has got to stay at home. Everyone in that country has to have this or that.
Yeah. I
where
get you.
we still got our freedom to do what we wish. And now we're signing our NHS organisation over to the WHO to tell them what to do now. When certain countries did good and well on it, and certain countries didn't. But from the way that organisation has been run, I don't throw any trust in it to actually do the right thing at the right time.
Well, there you go. There's Taylor's 10 cents.
There's my 10 cents into it.
On that
Searching
subject.
for a better way.
God, sorry about that.
But no doubt I'll be mentioning it nearer the time, in a couple of years' time.
To collaborate with your team?
If I'm still here.
What? Sorry, say that again.
No doubt I'll be talking closer to the time of it. There'll be more information on this, that, and the other, so then I can give more information and then see if we all agree on signing that information, because there's a lot of people up to now not happy about it, which I'm one of them, because like I said, it's taking the law away from our laws, and they could bypass all or that, and it's not necessarily on the people that run it now. It's on about the people who run it maybe later on.
You're going to have nothing left to talk about in your blog, so, you know what I mean? Shut up. You're boring.
I'll
You're
pass
boring.
it on.
Do you know how many people just switched off?
Oh, don't say that. Switched on, telling the mates.
Anyway, right, I've got a story here about real life GTA. This woman, a Florida woman, says that, you know, apparently like the Florida peeps.
Yeah, there's a lot of Florida business going on.
Right, so a Florida woman accused of crashing into multiple cars, whilst throwing fake snakes, to evade traffic stops, So the suspects in custody, 4 people were hospitalised after car collisions. This was Martin County Sheriff's Office that have, sold everyone around about it.
Oh, she drunk on drugs, like.
Well, a woman was arrested after crashing into multiple vehicles and throwing fake snakes, like I say, to flee a traffic stop. So, you know, she was Dawn LaShawn.
Fuck off.
No,
Dawn
seriously,
LaShawn.
that's what she's called.
Sorry if there's any Dawn LaShawns out
Dawn
there.
LaShawn.
That just...
it's
a good rhyme.
Dawn LaShawn.
Right.
She's 54. She faces multiple charges with additional charges of possible, including 4 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer and fleeing an arrest.
Naughty. She could get some good.
So, according to investigations, the chase began when the suspect intentionally hit one of the cars. What? Well, in fact, it was a sheriff's car. It was a squad car, right? And then tried to evade the stop.
Officer.
So they've tried to stop her.
Yeah.
Like she's driving along. They've obviously thought she was doing something speeding, maybe tail light out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm going to have to. Your tail lights seems to be out on your vehicle. Yeah. And they've stopped went to stop her, but she's ended up ramming him by the sounds of it, deliberately crashing into the squad car and then bailing. So, that's
so
how
she
it
had
started.
something on her then?
And then, obviously, it's progressed from there, and she's ended up colliding with several other cars, injuring.
What's this about the snakes or
people.
throwing snakes?
I've no idea what the thing about the snakes is.
She must have She must have threw the snakes to try and scare the officers back.
I got a snake.
She smashes the car.
Stay back.
Yeah.
Oh, the snake gets it.
Did I throw 5 snakes or
Was
did
it
I
real
throw
snakes?
6?
I don't know. I mean, like maybe some people do have phobias of snakes.
Yeah,
maybe it was a curse. Maybe she was trying to curse him with a snake curse.
Yeah. She could
part
have
of
been
some sort of snake ritual.
been
Who
a
knows?
witch.
I don't know. She does look witchy.
Oh, yeah.
Dawn LaShawn.
Dawn LaShawn.
Dawn.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like a French song.
Dawn LaShawn, LaShawn, da dawn, on the banks of the canal.
Of friends.
Dawn LaShawn. Anyway, you're going to be singing that all week now. I might write a song about it. So, well, anyway.
Why not?
Come on, have you got any more news?
Yes, I've got some more news on Mr. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Well, it's
Techno King.
Right. Well, he's broke one of a contract with Twitter, which was.
Is it still going on? I thought he'd bought Twitter.
No, it's been halted because someone put paperwork in to claim against him, but also now they're saying that he's broke the private confidential contract of asking how many non-subscribers are actually fake. He reckons there's at least
because I think Dave Gorman did a thing on Modern Life is Goodish.
Yeah,
if you've not checked it out, worldwide people, I do recommend him. He's a comedian. From the UK. Dave Gorman. He's brilliant. He
people
does a
say
lot
I
of
look like him. I don't know how it works.
Definitely don't.
Yeah, I know.
But like he does a lot of like sort of. I can't. He's got a different style of comedy, hasn't he? Definitely.
He goes into the stuff you don't look into. Let's say, like, them little terms and conditions. They go into that. And,
totally.
And find
he's
little
very
funny
good at
things
like
out there.
using graphs and pie charts and stuff like that in a really funny way. But what was the point? Why was I bringing Dave Gorman up?
Elon Musk. Yeah. because
Oh yeah, so I mean, he's saying about these.
They're saying
so
it's
he
2%.
looked into that. Yeah, he looked into to Twitter
Yeah.
fake accounts.
Well, they won't
You
let
can-
all of them out.
These companies that sell mass amounts of accounts, followers. So if you're a small business and you want to make everyone think that you've got,
millions of
loads of
people.
followers and everyone's really happy with your service,
Yeah.
you get all these fake accounts. But how many of these users are actually users and not bots?
Yeah.
If you like,
Yeah.
So is that
And-
the question? I mean, to be honest, are they trying to say it's worth a certain amount because they've got so many users, or is it?
Yeah.
And he's saying, well,
Basically.
that's an unfair evaluation of the business.
'cause he's paying
It
44
is,
million
Because
and
if they've saying that it's worth 44 million and it's got
50% not there.
X amount of users,
Yeah.
and then it turns out that 50% of those users are fucking bots and
Yeah.
fake accounts, then
You've just paid
you've paid double
the amount for the
That's
business,
how
yeah.
you'd view it, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
And you'd lose
so,
money.
I mean, it is quite a bit of a conundrum, but I mean, it's like, who's raised the issues? Is it Elon because of that?
He asked the question. Then he supposedly broke the rules because the board turned around and decided, well, hold on.
Business.
You broke the rule. You broke our silent contract. So now we're suing you for that, and we are continuing to make this. The deal's been done. So they're still forcing it, which at first he didn't want it, but now they're forcing it that he pays 44 billion. So what he's doing is
Well,
he's
no,
going.
if he's kind of agreed to that on the basis, it's almost like they've kind of been sat there rubbing
but-
their hands, knowing that they know that the user base isn't what they
Yeah,
said
but they're
it was.
saying, but they were saying on that contract that it was between 2 and 5%, but where realistically they're not showing the figures properly, and they're purposely not showing the figures, so it must be bad. So what he's doing now is looking into WeChat, the Chinese one.
Well,
version.
that's big because they use that to pay for everything, transfer money, the lot.
Well,
Yeah.
he's looking at buying that or creating a new one instead. I create
Well,
a new one, mate.
he used to own PayPal. I think that was basically his idea or his
Yeah,
business
yeah.
when he first. That's how he
Him and
made his
three
money.
friends, I think it was.
that's how he made his money. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be interested to find out what his friends did with it, unless he bought them out early on.
No, he was the first one to leave, and I think he made, 7 million out of it. And through that, then he went on to something else and made some more money.
I think
and
it was
then he went,
Tesla, the actual.
yeah, he
car,
ended up
yeah.
buying Tesla.
Well,
yeah,
Anyway, we'll go with
Small little company,
the
then.
history of Elon Musk.
yeah. So watch this space. There's still going to be a lot of twists and turns of this, I think, for the next couple of months.
Definitely going to be, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do you know? I found this story. Do you remember we did talk about it? I don't think we actually did an episode about it, but
Alright.
the number of twins that were born in that German town
Oh,
because
yeah,
of
yeah,
is
yeah.
it Himmler?
Yeah, that's
He was
right.
doing
Tests,
experimentation
yeah.
on twins, very kind of interested in twins and like
Yeah, he was.
the sort of superior race and all the
Weird
rest of
little
it.
fucker.
Seems to be something going on in Texas.
Oh, what?
Because there was 35 sets of twins graduating from a school, a Texas school, one Texas school
One
district,
Texas school.
one school district,
Fucking hell,
which
man.
isn't very big. If you think
Ah.
about how many schools are in a school district, they've got to kind of keep it, a few. They're not going to be amazing amounts
Now,
of schools. Is
what
it?
do you reckon the probability will be throughout the
I mean,
let's
is
say
that
the
kind
world?
of the same throughout the world? I don't think it is.
Well,
I don't
no.
think that is because this seems to be newsworthy.
Yeah.
There is a town, isn't there, where it's kind of primarily twins.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
because
that's right.
that gene is being passed on by people because they live
Within
in a
the town,
town.
yeah.
Yeah, they live in a
It's more
town
likely
with
chance
like
you're gonna have
other
twins.
twins, and
Yeah.
they hook up with somebody who's also a twin.
Yeah, but
then
don't
the
forget-
twin genes being kind of passed on. Then, isn't it?
If we've been experimenting about twins for a long time now. Over that time, you're going to have like a community of them. So
well, that's
if
what
they-
they've got.
Yeah, and then on
Twin
the basis,
town.
and then on the basis of
Twin
that,
with
you've
Twin
got-
Town.
you definitely know you're going to get more and large amount in that area of twins.
That's a good coffee, that too. Thank you.
Well, that's all right. I do make a good coffee, I like it.
Sorry, I do apologise.
Nice.
I was just like, ooh, that was nice.
Yeah, I know how to make my brew, bros.
Right, well, go for it. So, do you think like this is why do you think that some places do kind of get a kind of higher concentration? Is it because like we've just said there, you know,
I think
people hooking up with twins,
or it might be even to friendships of twins, and then oh well, we got loads of twins who live around here. It's a beautiful community. We look after each other and all that, and then bring themselves as a community, and then it's just passed on.
You've just doubled your community, haven't you? Basically, by having twins everywhere.
Yeah, that's it.
Crazy.
Well,
Are you a
good.
twin? I would love to hear from that's an interesting topic.
It is actually,
twins and the twin syndrome, where people
Got
kind
like
of have a sixth sense of vibe.
Yeah.
Are you a twin? Do you have that with your sibling?
Yeah. Can we test
let
you?
us know. Hook you up to some machines.
Some electrodes.
Yeah, we haven't got any of that.
No.
But we'll just rig it up to the
we've got some
mains.
wire, haven't we?
Oh,
Wire
yeah,
a bit electric.
Bit of copper wire.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
Yeah,
Plaster over it. Be all right.
Well, or an interview. That'd be
an
that'd
interview would
nice.
be even better. Yeah,
even better.
Yeah.
Well, moving on. News. I've got a couple of stories, but I'm struggling.
Rest
here.
of mine are
So
science
I found
now.
this one, which I found really interesting, right? Because do you know there's a lot of crises happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
No
we've got
shit, Sherlock.
cost of living crisis and energy crises and all the rest
wars
of it.
going on, arguments left, right, and
I
centre.
found this story about a living crisis, but it's for a really weird reason.
What's
Right?
that weird?
So this is New York, right?
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to be a really great city.
Wow.
Now has more Airbnb listings than apartments to rent.
And you know what? It really does not
So
surprise
you
me
can't
what's been going on.
you could probably get an Airbnb for the night or a week, or just change it up and move around.
Yeah.
Which could
Get
suit
yourself
you.
around New York.
I mean, you could
One
live
night
in
here, one night there.
different areas of New York every night.
Yeah.
Depends where you want to, what's available, but means you've
Sounds
got
like
to
a
live.
lot.
Sounds like you've got to live a very sparse life, that you've got to just carry what you need.
Yeah.
But
Some people out there they do.
it seems that you can't get a full list, a letting. You can't let a property just to live in anymore.
That's it.
Is this the future of the way we've got to live, like nomads?
Rent houses.
Just
or
kind of like have to go and live wherever.
I do think there's a little bit of a pushback of more people renting than buying houses, mainly because there's not a lot of houses.
Well,
around,
this is the
especially in
thing,
this
isn't
country.
it? And when you're kind of struggling to pay for your normal
Yeah.
amenities, it's like having money to buy a house or
Yeah.
even just get on the property ladder. I don't know. I mean,
Well,
there's
New
been a
York's
lot of
been
people struggling. New York is a very
struggling at the
a
moment
very
as well.
expensive place to
Yeah.
live by all accounts. So
Like, there's loads of issues they've been having over there for a long time, and there has been a lot of people who've been moving out. So you could see that they were making spaces as well because some people
But it's
don't
the
want to be there
idea
no
of
more.
it's the idea of property owners, landlords, essentially thinking, do you know what? I can
Second
make
home.
more money from Airbnb
Yeah.
than I can with a full-time tenant.
We're all chasing
so
the money.
it's a case of that they're kind of thinking more about their money, their profit margins than the fact that somebody needs a place to live. There's people out there who need an apartment, need a property.
True,
Do you know
but
what
if
I
you
mean?
can't look after yourself, then you can't look after anyone else. You know what I mean? Like the once you've made your riches, you should help the community and the people around there. You know what I mean? Instead of them people who are
Well, that's
already
the
on the
thing,
bread
though,
line
because
who are
the
helping
community,
other
you're
people.
not by having an Airbnb community, it's not helping the community, if you like,
No.
because you've just got a load of people who are just there for basically a holiday.
It's your second home, and it's your rent second home to make
It's not
money.
being utilised in a community sense where people
So-
see each other every day and say hiya and good morning, and there is a community, because people live there. Whereas now with these Airbnb listings, it's more a case of that
Holiday homes.
these new people there every day. I mean, like I say, is it getting to the point where you've got the way you've got to live is by just getting an Airbnb every couple of nights in a different location because there's nowhere to rent.
To be honest,
know what I mean?
yeah. To be honest, especially in this country, I think you should not legally allow the second home. We're already on having problems with getting the first home with a lot of people. I do not think you need a second home because you're using that second home as a business. If it's using it as a business, then you should be paying high big business tax.
Well, it depends what you need a second home for, really, doesn't it?
You need one home, that's it, realistically. The other home is, we vacation from September till October because it's nicer there. Well, get a backbone and like
more kind
take
of like,
it.
What's it?
You know what I mean?
You just get what's it? A timeshare.
Right, yeah. If you've got, go away.
Maybe that's what it is a lot of the time, though. Do you know when people boast and say, "Oh yes,
The
we've got a
same issue
second
in
home
London.
in wherever," and it's like, is it or is it a timeshare?
Look at all the rich houses in London. A majority of them, no one lives in them 90% of the year. They're only there as a second home for, we're just going down to London.
Well, I mean, look, we're talking about the Jubilee, the Jubilee weekend, like, but the Queen, how many houses has she got?
Yeah,
and,
but that's different.
They're big houses.
That's different.
That house.
Loyalty, mate.
I mean, obviously, but like,
She's
what I'm getting at is, I
chief.
mean, these certain times when like having a second home.
Yeah, but
if I had the money,
it,
I'd have you'd be like, yes,
I would. But if
me beachfront
they
property
turned around and said you can only
me...
have one home, then fair enough. All right. Well, instead of buying a home, I will go off and pay money to have a holiday. Or
he's very opinionated tonight, aren't
well,
you?
yeah, because it's a lot of stuff.
The world
is to
according
the rich.
to Taylor.
You know what I mean? A lot of stuff to the rich, and yet the poor always get left behind, where they're the ones who need the most. And when you're at the top, you should be helping them at the bottom.
Too right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of it
I don't disagree. I honestly
sometimes.
don't disagree, but I can see you get it.
Yeah.
You're very on it.
It gets frustrated.
You're frustrated this week,
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some NASA news before we end the show. We've got a few bits because you found a few bits. Why don't you start us off?
I start off. A group of scientists got together.
As they do.
Yeah. This week and actually
ponder life of the universe and everything.
The universe, and actually they were pondering about climate change. And it turns out that the computer model that scientists generally use for they don't add the sun. They actually put that as a minus, and they don't add volcanoes. So
the data's wrong.
The data's wrong, yeah. So basically, these other scientists have actually got together and gone like, well, let's have a look at the sun, let's have a look at radiation and stuff like this. And it turns out that it's actually the radiation from the sun and our magnetic shield is actually collapsing slowly.
Oh,
it
right.
has been
What's that
collapsing
mean
for a
to
while.
us? So we're heating up.
Well, basically it means it's getting closer to us, so there's more chance of radiation getting through. If it collapses totally, then the radiation comes through and we're
that's something to look forward to, isn't it?
So basically it turns out that
maybe that's why they didn't tell us. It was one of those things where they were like, there's this factor that we could factor in, but it's best not to tell us.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you put the sun there? Realistically, you know what I mean?
That's true. You would, wouldn't you?
It's an energy ball. So they found out that that looks like it's what's setting off the CO2, not us, and it actually helps the organisms of our world who need it, who actually create more oxygen, which helps which helps around.
Okay,
and,
brilliant.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. Well, talking about getting it wrong, the Hubble Space Telescope has been detecting for over, since the 90s, since 1990. And it's discovered something weird happening in our universe. So they projected that, like how kind of time moved. And space moved and how it was kind of expanding. Was one speed, and they were working out like how the universe worked.
Yeah, because I've come with 1% not that long ago. Scientists said we were going through really slowly, and it's like, hold on, but how can that be when in the past we're like a fucking speeding bullet?
Well, this is it, because now it's left scientists baffled because there seems to be a discrepancy between its current rate of expansion. Based on what they've observed from the Big Bang. So they've saying that it's kind of slowing down or speeding up to a point where it's going to start slowing down, but
Yeah.
they've
don't know
discovered
what
that
happened.
over the decades of research that the Hubble's
Been
given,
having a look, yeah.
that it's not the case. So it's left them a bit kind of like stumped now.
Yeah, one thing's saying one and one saying another. Well, yeah, I mean, there could actually be other theories, like we're already in like a bubble and it's not actually moving, but just the stuff within is moving. You know what I mean? There could be a different... Well, you
Well,
know,
the
this is science.
organisation said in a statement, the pursuit of the universe expansion rate began in 1920s with measurements of an astronomy by astronomer Edwin P. Hubble and George Latimer.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously since then, they've been trying to work out, you know, what's...
The answers.
The answers to kind of analysing the data. So... in fact, you know, due to in recent years being able to process the data a lot quicker, it's meant that, you know, we've been able to get a lot more answers a lot faster.
That's true.
But that's
Quantum
just
computing.
left a question with this discrepancy. It's the expansion rate as it's measured in the local universe compared to the independent observations from right after the Big Bang, which predict the difference explanation, the different values.
Yeah.
So there's different values in the data, and they don't know why.
Yeah.
So that's the bottom line.
Yeah, and they need to sort it out because...
Well, they need to sort it out.
They do sort it out. Well, at least they've spotted it, and they've now got something to do. You know what I mean? They can actually, you
Got
know,
something to do, though.
use the brain for this as well, and possibly bring someone who actually got the answer for it as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be that long until, you know, the answer to that query will come through. I think we've got the brains for that.
Have you got any more sciencey, NASA-y news?
I have. Well, apparently, researchers have just discovered a new phenomenon in quantum physics, which seems to put magnetic installation has got a heat flow, which means that you could possibly, in years to come, have, let's say, a mobile phone and it's recharging within where you're walking, where you are. It's automatically recharging all the time. You reckon that there's some kind of energy within the force that we can possibly be able to crack, that new devices will be able to use it as an energy force?
Right, okay. It's a similar thing to this story I found, actually, because NASA have been, you know, since the Apollo program, astronauts have documented how liquids behave differently in a microgravity than they do on Earth. So they've been kind of like doing all these tests, and they've discovered that, you know, liquids actually behave differently in space on a temperature level as well. Do you know, with the absolute zero? There's also like, you know, so basically they've cooled stuff down within a degree of above absolute zero and shaped them into extremely thin hollow spheres, done tests. You know, they've done a matter of tests. But now they think that this cold spot, or cold atom lab, they're calling it, is basically going to be, it's like a cold spot in space, I'm assuming. That's how it sounds, right? And but it's going to open up a load of new pathways in physics and the way we think about physics. Because the way that liquids behave in space, they're able to use them in a way
in a different
that
form
kind
that
of
we use.
exactly, like in a more three-dimensional, four-dimensional,
more elastic.
Well, if you like, depends on what they need, I suppose.
That's
but
true,
it's like that's how I'm getting it. But the ultra cold bubble could eventually be used in a new kind of experiments that are basically, and using even more exotic materials. So like they use water in space for those type of experiments as an example. But this sort of, you know, ultra cold bubble
could put metal in there and steel and see.
Who knows how it reacts? Yeah, exactly.
Reaction will
Because they're
happen,
able to get it down to temperatures like you say,
Mercury.
just above absolute zero.
Yeah, I wonder what mercury would be like up there, because it's like liquid air and it can turn to gas. But like you can up there, you can make it
Lots
more
to think
solid.
about there.
Well, it's good
quite
for-
interesting, isn't it? I never actually thought about it like that before,
Yeah.
but there you go.
yeah, it
You wonder
really
what
is.
they do up on that space station,
Yeah.
fucking about,
Yeah.
making stuff float.
Good. Keep fucking about up there. We need
I'd
to know
love to
before
make
we
that
go.
water float and see what happens.
Well-
So, last story.
Yeah, we got nuclear fusion.
Fusion.
Our future.
Nuclear vessels.
Yes, our hopefully our new energy is coming, but there seems to be a setback.
It's always a setback when it comes to nuclear reactors.
Yeah.
I told you, right? So basically, every nuclear reactor that's ever been built in the UK has always been over budget and at least 5 to 10 years over time frame. Yeah, they're saying that they're going to build a couple rapid, which is dangerous because, let's just face it, it's nuclear power we're dealing with.
Well, no fusion.
Well, either way, mate, it sounds fucking catastrophic if it goes wrong.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but it is actually not in the UK. It's in the south of France.
Oh, well, build it then.
Yeah, it's actually,
Oh, I'm sorry. I do, you know what I mean? No
It's
offence. It's
actually-
just not on English soil, so,
Yeah.
you know, he's less bothered.
yeah, exactly, man. It's the largest device of its kind on Earth ever built. It's supposed to be built by 2035. The key
But if you got any
source-
power going spare, don't, feel free.
They can't make it because there's already a crisis with the fuel because they need titanium, and there seems to be a shortage of titanium at the minute.
Oh, is that David Guerre used it
Yeah.
all?
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? It shouldn't. You should, we got energy to build here, man.
I
Know what
know.
mean? We need that
Selfish.
from France. And we
Selfish.
turn the kettle
We
on.
do. Well, this is the thing. It was like, wasn't there a big pipeline due to be built from Russia, and they just had to switch that off?
Yeah.
And they'd
yeah.
already built it, and they just went, nope, can't use it.
Yeah,
Turn it
yeah.
off,
That
block
was
it
to
up,
Germany.
concrete it up.
Yeah, that was to Germany, the second pipe that was going to go through to Europe.
So these thingies being felt all over the place.
Yeah.
Everyone's making sacrifices.
But we're ahead of the game with cold fusion at the minute.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are. We're
Love a
ahead of
bit
the
of
game.
cold fusion.
But like China's having a good go at the minute as well, and I believe there's some other countries as well. America is, we're
That's the
soon
one that
gonna
you just
come.
basically tell your kids, if your kid comes in and asks you for something,
Yeah.
and you give them an impossible task,
Yeah,
you say
yeah.
nail cold fusion,
Yeah.
and we'll talk.
We'll sort it
and
out.
then they go off
Yeah.
going, what the fuck?
We did it.
I was like, did you really?
Yeah.
Go on,
Yeah,
show
we spoke
us.
to Elon Musk. We got his money, and then we got his
I
ideas.
want to see this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, all right. You can go to the party then.
Yeah.
For,
On the moon.
for all mankind.
Well, have you heard what's been going on with the rover the new rover in
on Mars.
Yeah. It
Go on.
looks like it's going to stop working.
Again.
Yeah, it's because it's that dusty.
Yeah,
that
well, that
you
happens,
can't get no
doesn't
power.
it? Yeah, that
They're
happens because they
hoping-
are solar powered, so the dust obviously
it.
interferes with how much power it can intake.
And then it could take years, even hundreds
Oh,
of years.
God, yeah, if it
before
was a
could-
big dust
yeah,
storm.
we need a dust storm to actually. But then again, over the last couple of years, we've had massive dust storms over there. So hopefully that another one will, knock it off.
Over there, like
Yeah.
it's in the Sahara or
And-
France or something.
Last week I said there was a picture of a dog of a hole.
A dog. Was there a dog?
Well, no, there's a new picture come out, and it looks like there's another hole that a picture shows of, and it looks like a hole for the dog to walk through,
Right,
instead of like
okay.
a normal.
Do you
door.
not just think it might be just like a trick of the shadows or?
This is what, but then again,
I've seen
it's
the
NASA,
door. I've
you know
been
what I
sent
mean?
the door.
They like
People
hiding
keep
shit.
sending me the door on Mars, and I think, yeah, I can see the door.
can see it,
but
but
like it could also
So
be,
yeah.
a lot of other things.
I'm
like just
open-minded on it.
fucking like a crack that just looks shadows.
Yeah, take a
casting
picture
away.
from the other angle.
I don't. Yeah, exactly
and,
from the other
you
way,
know,
or
yeah.
just somebody
up,
stood
down,
inside
wherever.
it waving,
Yeah, get an
Going
astronaut
in.
in there.
getting in there.
Get a robot going in there. What
Well,
the
this
fuck?
is it. You'd think that these, would all be
'Cause
places
aliens
of
said,
interest,
no, you can't go in there.
for when we do land.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
obviously, if we've
We're
got
preparing for it
questions,
now. So
we want to get there. We
will
want
get
to
there,
have a look round. We'll be obviously going, oh, that big door that we thought was a big door. Oh, no, it was just a shadow. Or
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
something else. Or there is a cave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a cave, but it's not
There's definitely gonna
exactly
be
what you
caves.
think.
Yeah, it's a dead
Yeah.
end.
Oh, well,
There's
yeah, of
bats
course
in
there
there.
is. Oh, there'd be interesting Martian cave systems. Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Because there'd be a lot you could learn about the geology of the planet by studying the cave
I'd like
formations
to get there,
and
but by the time
stalagmites and
by the
stalactites
time we get there
and all
now,
that.
we're not going to get there.
Do you think we'll be alive by the time they get a colony on Mars? Do you think that'll
the
happen?
start of it yet, but I don't think there'll be a chance of me getting there.
I'll be
or
like,
having a go.
I used to look up at the Mars, look up
I think
at
the
moon.
travel will kill me unless they put me in
It's like,
stasis.
sorry, Mr. Taylor, but you're
Yeah.
just too old.
Yeah.
You're too old to go to Mars.
But then again, our names
unfortunately.
are going to Mars.
We are. We're set to go on a mission in 2026.
2026, yes.
Yeah, 2026.
Yeah, read
The
it.
Never a Straight Answer podcast is going to the Mars.
It is. So we
on a
will
secret,
forever
top secret
be there.
mission.
Yeah. So I'm going to feel like I'll be there already.
Yeah, but it's a plaque, isn't it, of some
Yeah.
description? Yeah,
Yeah.
but we signed up for it a time ago. But yeah,
You better send it.
our name is going to be up there
Yeah.
on Mars.
Yeah, we got the tickets.
We got our launch pass, didn't we?
Did.
Our boarding ticket. It was quite nice of NASA to do that.
Yeah.
I think that
Thank
we
you very
did.
much,
Obviously, it
Max.
wasn't just directed at us. They didn't
No.
ring us up and go, "Yeah, boys,
No,
we
but-
like your Maxi.
But if you want to,
Do you want to go to Mars?" And we went,
Yeah.
But they went, "But we don't think Taylor can hack it, so
No,
let's send
no.
just your
Okay.
name."
Yeah.
In fact, trying to see him walk up a mountain was one bad enough. Seeing him going on that fucking 0G machine.
Hey, kept fucking
would
going though. I
would
didn't stop.
Fucking kill him. In fact, if anyone's got access to one of those 0G machines,
Oh, yeah.
one of those gravitrons or whatever, yeah, right. And you can get us to get Taylor on it.
Oh, yeah. I'll have a little go.
Yeah, I want to see
Yeah.
how he'd cope in astronaut
I think-
training.
Yeah. No. No.
Crank
Too
up
old
the
for it now.
G's.
Oh, although, push me. I might have to.
Well, that's the end of the show. I'll
It
leave
is.
you with that thought
Yeah.
of Taylor whirring round and round and round. It's going to make me throw up. I don't like spinny things.
I think I'll be able to take that,
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
I
do you
don't-
reckon you would?
Not a chance. I throw up going on a merry-go-round in a park.
Oh, see.
Do you know anything that spins me round? Do you know like that game when
It's all
you
about
used
control.
to blindfold your blind man's buff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that. If you spam me round more than a couple of times, it was like
Joking.
starting to feel queasy.
So you couldn't do...
I've thrown up on anything that spins you round.
Oh,
Yep,
right.
not my thing.
Not
Don't
your
do
thing.
it. Waltzers, fuck that. I've been on the waltzers, but again, it doesn't end well.
See, and here's me planning you to get into a back of a jet and get, do
Not
the
a
loop, the
chance.
loop.
I'd probably do that, but it's a different experience.
Yeah, be sick in
we're
the
not
back.
we're not Scientologists. We're not Top Guns.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not,
Yeah.
not
Well,
yet.
next time, maybe.
Yeah.
Who's never.
Who knows?
Yeah, this week's
So-
coming from the back of an F1.
Yeah, okay. F-16, fucking yes.
Off.
Or an F-15.
Right,
nice.
well, that's the show.
Yes, it
if
is.
you've got a comment, query, or suggestion, or you just want to get in touch,
Yeah.
say hello.
Hello.
You can send us an email at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com or go to the website at neverstraightanswer.co.uk where there's a contact us page. Super easy to send us a message and I'll get right back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
indeed.
always happy to message you back.
Yeah.
If you want to hit us up on social media, we're on Instagram and
Yeah.
on Twitter.
Definitely.
We don't have
Well, it still
bot
lives.
fans. We just have proper fans,
Yeah.
proper
Yeah,
followers.
we got no
We didn't buy any
bots,
of them.
No.
Yeah, but
We
that
got
was what I was
offered,
saying.
But we do not do that.
Dave Gorman did a thing, like say, and he was he found out that so many people did.
Yeah.
But we don't.
We don't at
So,
all.
but just add to the numbers by
Yeah, please.
following us on Twitter.
Yeah.
We're
Tell a friend, tell a
available
nephew.
on all podcast platforms, so no matter where you listen to your podcasts,
We're
on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Anchor, wherever.
Wherever you listen.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who go, oh, I listen to you on YouTube sometimes, then I listen to you on
good.
like iHeart or Spotify.
Nice one.
And I'm like, yeah, sweet. I mean, it's like mixing it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it depends where you are and what your device is, isn't it?
Well,
I suppose.
if you're at your home, you're watching your telly, and it's like you're watching us on the TV, and then it's like, oh, I've got to go out. Oh, I've got my phone here. Bang, bang. I'll listen to you on the way.
Well,
Ride my
apparently,
bike.
so basically, you can do us on Alexa as well. So if you
Can
do
you?
say, Alexa, play Never a Straight Answer podcast, they play our most recent episode. But I found out something really funny about Alexa before we go.
She's a bitch.
If you ask Alexa
Yeah.
what coffee 100 is in Welsh,
Yeah.
yeah, coffee bean 100 Yeah, is the
Right.
phrase in Welsh.
Yeah.
And she comes up with something pretty surprising.
Oh,
So if you've
does
got
she?
an Alexa,
So if
try
you
it
got-
out.
yeah.
Coffee Bean 100 in Welsh. Ask it
Right.
what the
yeah,
translation is.
Yeah.
And let us know
I
what you
can't do it.
find.
I ain't got one.
I know, yeah.
I will never
I'll
have
tell
one.
you what it is after we finish. Anything else we
Keep
want
your
to add?
guess. Yes, don't forget, I'm going to be doing a vlog. It's sometime this week.
Look
So
forward to that.
keep popping into our website, and I'll be there at some point.
Right, well, we'll catch you next week.
We will.
Obviously, there's lots going on the website, so go and check that out.
Definitely.
We'll be back with another episode next week. Episode 180.
Oh,
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting close to that 200. Yeah, we might have to do dance theme or something.
Oh yeah, what was it? The legend of Jim Bowen.
Yeah,
And the bully.
bully.
It's
yeah.
like, did those people really get half a speedboat?
Oh yeah. I wonder if. Why would you sell a fucking speedboat to someone who lives in Birmingham?
I don't know. It's
You know
like
what I
they don't even sell it; they win it.
Well,
it's
yeah,
like cheers
There
for
with a
that.
caravan.
It's like wherever, but they still have to split the prize sometimes.
That's
don't
true.
They, with
Yeah,
another
that's
guy? Anyway,
that caused some arguments. I bet.
it's like who's getting the speedboat?
Yeah.
Right. Well, who is getting the speedboat?
Speedboat.
Maybe
We
you'll
wanna
find
know.
out next week, but
Yeah.
you don't know. We don't know. Right.
No.
But we'll catch you next time.
We will.
This has been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Out.